extra 30 seconds because I'm a half a handicap guy. So, this is a great crowd out here. I haven't been this nervous since I was an altar boy in a room full of priests. And to Sister Annunziata, who said to me, Rocco, how come you want to be the classic clown? You think you're a comedian? Yes, sister, I do. So I'm married to Pixie for 38 years. I call her she who must be obeyed. Pixie is so tiny, she can play Twister on a bingo card. We're Italian, and Italians like to talk with their hands a lot. Pixie broke her wrist a couple of years ago, and she ended up with a speech impediment. She just stood there going, So, you know, no one tells you what it's like as you age. We've been married 38 years. There are 4 stages to marriage. I want to share those with you. Are there any married people in the room? Yeah. Okay, you might agree with some of this. The first stage is happy. No, sorry. The first stage is newlywed. So you're going at it. It's the best thing in the world. The sex is frequent. You can't keep your hands off of each other. The second stage is happy. The frequency is good, but the kids are always banging on the door. Daddy, there's a ghost in the closet. There's a monster under the bed. I need a drink of water. The third stage is amused. You get ready, you go up to the bedroom, you rip your clothes off, and you just look at each other and crack up because gravity's a bitch. The last stage is called tolerance. This is the point where that playful banter of your youth turns into bitter bickering. You still have sex, but it's called hallway sex. You walk by each other and go, screw you. I've lost 100 pounds in the last year or so. Thank you. Yeah, I sold a 12-year-old. No, Pixie's been working hard. She has me going to classes and going to the gym every day. I've been working out, watching what I eat. I go to a class called Flex Stretch. This is an unusual class because it's like half yoga and half stretching. First time I go in there, there's 12 women in there. They all got yoga pants on, all cougars. I go in the back of the room so that I'm not in the way. All of a sudden, they move into a position called downward facing dog. Do you know this? Okay, I'm in the back of the room and all of a sudden I'm surrounded by more moons than Saturn. So, Pixie and I are sitting in the backyard and she looks down and she says to me, why do you have 3 rings tattooed above your knee? And I said, well, Pixie, you remember when the kids were young, we used to chart their growth by drawing a line on the door jam. She said, yeah, I get that, but why do you have 3 lines? I said, well, I'm measuring the impact of gravity on my testicles. She says, okay. She says, but there's a dotted line. I said, well, of course there's a dotted line because at that point I have to stop wearing shorts. You don't want to show off the low-hanging fruit. We're up in New York a couple of weeks ago, and I'm driving around with my nephew Matt, 10 years old, adorable kid. And we're driving, and if you know anything about New York, inevitably, as you're driving, you end up behind a garbage truck. So we're behind the garbage truck hits a pothole, garbage flies out, and this giant-sized adult fun toy smashes into the window. I see the kid, he's like looking bug-eyed. And in order to avoid an embarrassing conversation, I say to him, Matt, don't worry about it, it was just a bug. He looks me dead in the eye and he says, Uncle Rocky, how does that bug fly with a piece of heel that big? The economy is awful, interest rates keep rising, we're all losing money. I decide I'm going to drive Uber to make a couple extra bucks. So I get a call, it's a pickup in Sarasota, and it's a nun. All right. Sister gets in the car, she's sitting in the back, I'm up in the front, and I keep looking at Sister in the rearview mirror. Sister says, why do you keep staring at me? I said, well, sister, I have to tell you, I'm a little twisted and I've always had a fantasy about making out with a nun. Sister says, okay. She says, if you're single and you're Catholic, I'll make out with you. I said, lucky me, I'm both. So I get in the back with Sister, and Sister and I are making out. She's kissing me like a drunk girl on prom night. I get back in the front of the car, we start driving away, and I said to her, Sister, I have to tell you, I'm feeling very guilty. I'm actually married and I'm Jewish. She says, that's okay, sweetie, my name is Kevin and I'm on my way to a Halloween party.